What's up, guys? Maxwell here. So, I know it's been around a week at this point since my last video. The growth that I've been just working to acquire just this past couple of days has been just so inspiring. Like, something to the point where it's so inspiring, like, I can't even put it into words, because I've been thinking so much about how much God has been blessing me. And it's something where it's a blessing because it came through so much delayed gratification. It came through so much trusting of the process. It came through so much trusting throughout that long period of time, throughout my entire school year, where I was questioning, like, why is this repeated hardship keep happening over and over and over again? How come I cannot catch a break? And it's something now where when you consistently trust the process and you find a gratitude within the process, and you find the beauty within the pain of the process, you pick apart pieces that help to mold you throughout the difficulties, artistically. Everything that we see around us is a reflection of the human experience and the growth that we want to receive, and it is up to us to find that appreciation holistically through anything. That is why we have so many creatives out there, the creatives that transcended the human emotion of people who want to give up, or people who want to throw in the towel, or people who just want to base their perspective of the world around them on their conditional emotions. And all of this had me thinking so much about how do not let narcissists take away the light that you were always given by God, specifically. Because when we're born, we always have that childlike wonder within us. Of course, as we get older, the world around us wants to do everything it can to stress us out, to break us down, to strip away that childlike innocence from us. But just because we get older doesn't mean we are forced to sacrifice that innocence. Doesn't mean we are forced to sacrifice that joy, that God-given emotion. The reason why so many people develop this mindset of, oh, when you get older, life is all, getting older sucks. Life just sucks when you get older. They think this way because they've sacrificed the truth of who God is, of the qualities that come from God. Joy. I was saying the words joy and peace at the same time. Joy, peace, patience, love, selflessness. We always have it. But because we are influenced by the world around us, we are more malleable as we grow up by the world. We start to accept the false belief that we have to strip those emotions away from us in order to be a functioning member of society. And that, it could not be further from the truth. And something that I've learned within the age range that I'm at in my 20s, and something I've experienced throughout my teens, was the belief that just because of how our society is structured now, where they want to do everything can to strip us away from the joy that we had when we were young. The moment that you choose to break the chain of pessimism, of nihilism, of just all negative emotions that come with getting older, because there's the stigma that as you get older, life is not the same anymore. You're going to be miserable when you grow up, blah, blah, blah. The moment when you work to tap into that joy that the world around you wants to deplete you of, that is when you trigger people, because you are going against the programming of how the world wants you to think as you get older. When you work to extract joy, when you work to extract peace, when you work to extract all these emotions that you're supposed to experience, these uplifting emotions that God has given you at birth, you've always had them, but the world has basically stole them from you. The moment that you choose to tap into them within especially within this modern day, within your older state, that is when people get the most, that is when people have the instance that they want to take you down, or they are threatened by you going against the grain. They're threatened that you broke free from a mindset that they couldn't break from within themselves, and so they're going to attack you as much as they can for you to get back down on their level, because they couldn't break free from their own misery themselves. So they want to, like a crab pulling another crab down into the bucket, they want to pull you down back into the bucket because they want you to fall in line. But when you work to create immense inspiration, when you work to create strong just joy of life that other people cannot see within their preconceptions of what getting older is like, they will do everything they can to attack you, to slander you, to say you're embarrassing, to do everything that they can just so you can get back down on their level, because you working to strive back to a version of themselves, of yourself that they lost, that scares them. That puts them in a position where they have to face something they don't want to face. They have to face that they are playing the victim. They cannot choose to respect themselves, to work for the joy that they deserve. And because you are working to get back that peace that the world took from you, you are a threat to them. And it's something where as I've grown, older, gotten older, early 20s, and something that I work to undo the peer pressure to just like be miserable from other people, the more that I work to break free from those chains, the more that I realize that I'm much rather have peace being by myself than be anxious around people who don't even have my best interests at heart. You have to understand that these man-made rules variables the world has created, it is not a set in stone foundation for your life and for what you want to accomplish and what you want to live. And at the end of the day, this is all ego. The ego wants us to keep us comfortable, to keep us stuck, to keep us living a lie for the rest of our lives. But when you zoom out from a third person perspective, when you cut out all the people who don't care, when you cut out all of the sources that are causing you to think this way, that is when you find true freedom. When you cut out all the music, when you cut out all the friends, when you cut out all the movies, when you cut out anything in a general sense that is causing you to perceive life within a nihilistic or pessimistic perspective, that is when you are truly free, because you by no means are obligated to be miserable. You are by no means forced to base your life on what the world tells you to. Base everything you experience on chronically online people, because they are so detached from reality that they cannot fathom that they have the choice to be happy. They have the choice to understand that they were not born for no reason, that their life is not pointless. They were brainwashed into believing that it is pointless, because we are so plugged in to all these subtle programming and beliefs and thought processes that didn't even come from who created us, God. It came from everything around us that we've consumed. And that is not to say that we cannot find inspiration from what we've consumed, or find joy and find God through what we've consumed, because God breathes life into everything. But Satan can also breathe death into everything. He can breathe anxiety, he can breathe misery, he can breathe every negative emotion you can think of into everything. There's two choices. There's either everything, there are elements in this world that breathe life and elements that breathe misery and death. But you have the power to break free and choose the life you have for yourself. You have free will at the end of the day. You can choose, and by no means, I'm not stopping you. If you choose to be miserable for the rest of your life, if you choose to be chronically in the line, if you choose to let politics dictate your whole life, and your whole personality is just dictated based on these agendas and these biased opinions, by all means do that and see how that goes. Live that life, by all means. Be the victim for the rest of your life, by all means. But at the end of the day, you have that choice. You are not forced to be miserable. You are not forced to be narcissistic. You are not forced to be anxious about things of this world that won't even matter when you are gone. So choose. You have that choice. You can choose to what brings you joy, brings you peace, brings you fulfillment, no matter how bizarre the world thinks it is. Because chances are people only find it bizarre because it is another way of them saying that they are jealous, that they can't find it for themselves, because they chose to be stuck within their own prison of their mind, not realizing that they have the choice to exit the prison. the prison door is not locked. It is open, but they assume that the prison door is locked because they're behind the bars. They think that because they are behind the bars that they are stuck there. But it is their realization to know that the door isn't locked and they can walk out of it and choose to live the life that they deserve. You are not forced to be miserable. So many people love being miserable because they think that their whole personality is the internet. They think that their whole personality is everything that they've plugged their mind into. And that's not to say you cannot be inspired by what you consume, but please have the choice, have the discernment of realizing that you are not defined by what you consume, but you can be inspired by what you intake. Give yourself the self-respect to give yourself the power in living the life that you deserve. Because if not, you are setting yourself up short. You are setting yourself for a life of failure and misery. Why would you do that to yourself? Realize that you are not here by accident. You are not here to just sulk and moan and complain and talk about how everything is happening against me. The world is going to crap. Oh my gosh. I can't believe what's going on in the world. I can't believe what these politicians are doing. I can't believe what everything else is doing. Do you hear yourself? Do you hear how you are giving all of your control to people and to events that you are not even in charge of? Take control of your own life because God has given you that power, that control. Why do you think you're so helpless? Why do you think that your life, you have no power? Why do you think that? You think that because you've given all your power away to the world. Stop doing that to yourself. You are not created for that. Give yourself the power back that you deserve because you were born with this power and the power is still within you. Sure, you might have wasted it. Sure, you might have thrown it away at times to meaningless people, meaningless sex, meaningless experiences, but that does not mean it is lost forever. If you are here and if you are breathing and if you are physically awake and looking around, you have more than enough chances. So what are you waiting for? Why are you stopping yourself so much? Give yourself the opportunity that you know you can go for. Because this is something that I had to unlearn years and years and years of, and the only reason that the only way that helped me to unlearn this was my experiences of just being set apart from people, doing everything I could to fit in, but deep down I knew I couldn't fit in because every time I attempted to fit in, I just could not physically fit in. It just did not feel right. And it's the instance where when you've done everything you can to fit in and you've gone through that experience of working to fit in, but you feel lost and you feel trapped, that is a sign that you need to get back to your authentic self, because that is who you were created to pursue, your authentic self, to carry out your authentic self. You are not here to be a clone of somebody. You are here to build yourself, because you are the only person who can see out of your own eyes. Do you not understand how much of a blessing that is? Every single person has the blessing to see life out of their own eyes. So Live. Just give yourself that freedom and stop holding yourself back. Max Effort Maxwell, signing out.